Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of the making of Traffic Travelers. Last episode I asked you guys if you want me to port it to Android, and most of you sound like you want that, so I'm going to try to do that in the future. The first thing I did in this part was make a coin, which is loosely based on a Mario coin with a minimalistic look, as if anything could be more minimalist than a Mario coin. Then I added some coin pickup animations and some UI to keep track of your coins. I made the total coin count a static variable so I could move across scenes and have it keep track. For the coin pickup script, I just had it so when a box collider around the coin was triggered, the coin animation would play and the UI counter would add 1 coin. Pretty basic stuff. This is also when I picked the font for the game, and I went with Game Area from 1001fonts.com. I think it matches the aesthetic. While developing the coin pickup mechanic, I started unintentionally making obstacle prefabs, which I would later use for the procedural level generation. I also made it so any object behind me would destroy itself, which saves on frame rate and quality. The next day, I got to work on some post-processing, mainly to make the colors pop more. I used a basic post-processing profile with color grading with added contrast and saturation. I experimented with other effects, but nothing really caught on, even though I was this close to keeping the motion blur in. The problem was, when the speed got too fast in the speed up mechanic I coded later on, the motion blur became unbearable, so I decided against it. This is also when I decided on the name for the game, as up until now, my game had been going under the project name Bloodblade Blurfers. I wonder why I changed it, especially if I wanted to publish it to the App Store. I went with Traffic Travelers after a couple choices. Trolley Trekkers, Taxi Trotters, and Stoplight Sprinters were my main ones. The common theme was obviously a transportation-themed alliterative name. It took long enough, but I finally got a main menu going with ideas for a shop and just basic start and quit functions. I also made it so when the player started a game, the camera would smoothly transition from the main menu angle to the behind the player angle. I also had to design a cul-de-sac behind the player so the back didn't look so empty. Then I made the base design for a logo with pixel art in Photoshop. I modeled it in Blender soon after, which I'm told looks a lot better. The title plate design for the logo was based on a plaque I'd seen at the San Francisco Trolley Museum. I don't know why, but that style of plaque just screams San Francisco to me, and the fact that I was still deciding the title between Traffic Travelers and Trolley Trekkers didn't help me decide. I think the design looks great though, and works with the San Francisco vibe I've been going with so far. Let me know if you want a main menu or level select tutorial, as I've gotten really good at making those. Check out this time-lapse of me modeling the logo. The time had come for me to have another go at modeling the player character again, and I used the zombie from my Halloween time-lapse as a base. The head size is where it really differed. I wanted a big head to be able to paint better facial features when I got to that point. I made both a male and female mesh for the character. I rigged it using the Blender Rigify add-on with the default human rig, but fitted it to my character. In Unity, the bones worked a little differently, and that made the character's arms go big whack, like that. But other than that one run animation, the rig worked pretty well for what it was needed. I made it a run animation, a jump animation, an idle main menu animation, a slide animation, and finally a death animation. All of the animations look good except for the aforementioned whack arms for the running. Next I made a gender switching button, which would switch out the character models for either if it was already the girl model, it would switch to the boy model, and if it was the boy model, it would switch to the girl model. This would eventually play into a larger character customization mechanic, which will probably be the next episode. In adding the character, this fixed the weird camera transition whenever the player ducked, which I think is a huge plus. The animator controller did look like a huge jumbled mess with all these animations, but it works fine, so who cares really? Finally, I started work on the procedural level generation. I made a generator script with an array of all obstacle prefabs, so every 3 seconds or so it would spawn a new bit. I had a couple mess ups even though they looked hilarious. but it worked in the end. Again, let me know if you would want to see a tutorial on how to get an effect like this in your games. Last thing for this devlog entry, I made a death UI element to send you back to the main menu or to restart the game. I also added another quit function for an easier time navigating. So that's basically it for this part. I'm thinking there might be 3 or 4 more parts in total, especially with the Android port you guys asked for. A reminder to check out the Discord link in the description where we talk about Unity development as well as Blender help. As always, let me know how you like this video by leaving a like, subscribing, sharing this video with anyone you think might be interested, and leaving a comment with any improvements or features you would want to see added. If I see any good ones, your comment will be hearted, and I might even add it to the game if I can figure out how. On that note, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!